Hi guys, this is the Mega-Transect. We're hiking the entire length of the Pacific Crest Trail, all 2,650 miles, while documenting wildlife. My name is Michael McGran. I'm here with Jacob Drueckhammer.
How's it going?
He's my wildlife videographer. We're here on day 3, and it's amazing in the first 3 days how much biological diversity we've already seen. Just a little baby. You're much bigger than that.
Oh yeah.
And this is about mile 22, and we've seen an amazing amount of diversity.
If you want to encounter everything that we did on the trail, stick with us to the end.
And we're off.
Here we go.
On our way to Canada, dude.
First steps. Just face each day's challenges on their own. Don't worry about the next day until the next day comes.
Exactly.
This iconic trail begins at a strange location. At this barrier intended to block human movement, we begin our journey of epic proportions.
All right, Jacob, you ready to start this thing?
Yes, I am. I'm a little teary because we just said bye to family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We have Mexico behind us, Canada in front of us.
2,650 miles to go.
In between, we got the journey in between us. Count of 3, we're gonna take our first steps. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
All right. We're off.
As we walked away from this barrier, which seemed to extend endlessly in both directions, Jacob and we contemplated the sacrifices we made for this 6-month project, including leaving our loved ones.
Okay, we got our first wildlife detection.
Where's he at now?
Spotted towhee. He's right perched on the shrub. There comes our family on this dirt road here.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye.
Let's see. There he is. I see him.
Often they'll take a prominent perch like this. We're right at the start of the breeding season, defending his territory. So even though it exposes them to predation, it's a sign of fitness to other competing males and to the females. And so he's defending his territory. And there's my family driving by on the dirt road. Hey!
Or not.
They didn't see us. Yeah.
Nope.
Berlin.
There.
Canada, 2,649.6 miles.
All right. We're basically there.
Yeah.
Some would say. Yeah, basically there.
Basically there. Just a short walk. There. On the edge here. Oh, there's another one. Yeah. You see him over there.
To the left.
So here we are in the Chemise redshank chaparral. So we're in redshank chaparral, or Chemise redshank chaparral. So the shrub here with the red bark is redshank. You then have Chemise also intermixed with this. So lots of chaparral species that I'm hearing in here. We heard some bush tits, adorable little birds, cooperated for us for a little bit. So my name's Michael McGran. I'm here with Jacob Drueckhammer. We're hiking the Pacific Crest Trail while documenting its natural history and wildlife. So this is day 1. We just completed our first mile.
Yeah.
We just have 2,649 miles to go.
All right.
And working our way through chaparral. Many, many miles of chaparral to go. An ocean of chaparral to go.
I'm ready for it. As ready as I can be.
So we have a refreshing shaded riparian corridor here. And the bird community changes quite drastically as we enter into this corridor. Heard song sparrow. Beautiful yellow warbler. Striking bird. Muddy water, not the most appetizing for filtering or drinking, but supports a rich bird life in here, rich diversity of bird life. And we have cottonwoods, pretty dense canopy of cottonwoods, number of species singing. House wren. House wren tends to prefer more shaded areas with a shrubbery undergrowth. Yellow warbler tends to be higher up in the canopy of the trees. And then we also hear song sparrow, which tend to be restricted along riparian corridors, as what we have here in the shrub understory. Probably need to get some miles in, huh?
Let's get like 3 miles in, around 1-ish, and then stop for lunch or something.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. This is that camp, old camp. Huh, what's that?
We encountered a pair of quail in what appears to be an abandoned camp. A distinctive characteristic of California quail is the head plume. It curves forward, while for mountain quail, the head plume points straight up. We'll encounter both species of quail on the Pacific Crest Trail. We have here a nice comparison between a male and female California quail. The plumage pattern is much more bold and dramatic for the male, while for the female, the plumage pattern is drabber and more cryptic to blend in with the environment. Notice that the male has a much larger and bolder head plume.
Okay, making some progress.
About 3 miles in,
3 miles.
2,647 miles to go to Canada.
So I refer to a thru hike on the Pacific Crest Trail. I refer to it as a voluntary crisis. Voluntary crisis on multiple levels. Mentally, physically, emotionally. One of the hardest things to do this go around for me is to leave my family. 6 kids and my wife. That's a painful process. You know, I feel the ache there of leaving my family. So that's a major sacrifice. But we'll get to see my family. They'll resupply us a lot more frequently as we head further north, especially as we get into the Sierra. They'll resupply us. Jacob also is making quite a bit of sacrifices, leaving his family.
Yeah, my family and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And all my friends, but see him in about 600 miles, so it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Start from the terminus.
Here we are in a mixed chaparral community. You can hear a black-chinned sparrow singing right now. I liken it to like the rapid fire of a toy laser gun or something like that. Beautiful black face, kind of a peach-colored bill, gray overall. Very common in Southern California in the desert, as well as chaparral. Often they're associated with kind of steep canyons. We're in kind of a canyon area right now. I have a species of Ceanothus here, which you can see with the 3 veins that meet at the base. It's not flowering. I'm not entirely sure what species of Ceanothus this is. Ceanothus is very common in California. It's a genus, diverse number. I think California has the greatest diversity of Ceanothus, I think, in the world. All right, taking a break here. Look at that cramp. Wow.
It doesn't look fun, I'll tell you that much.
You see it moving?
Yeah. Should get some salt in you, dude.
Jacob and I are ready for break.
I think so.
First full day. I am feeling it. Exhausted. How you feeling, Jacob?
Same, exhausted, ready to go to bed. I'll also get some food in me, get my shoes off, kind of relax at camp for a little bit, enjoy, you know, take in all of the first day, you know?
Yeah,
Kind of let it sink in a little bit.
I think that's a good idea.
You know, Professor,
Yeah.
I'm honored that I have the opportunity to actually through hike this trail with you. Because I know how much it means to your family and you.
Oh, thank you, Jacob.
I'm going all the way to Canada.
I'm honored to have you on the project.
Yeah,
You are an exceptional person. This is not easy to do, and
I'm excited to be here.
got the right skill set. Day one.
Day
Good
one.
job.
How'd you sleep?
I slept like a rock. Fell asleep. Took me all 5 seconds to fall asleep.
Well, 5 seconds up.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that sunrise. You ready to start this day?
I am very ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What's interesting about this habitat for black-headed grosbeak, I don't typically associate mixed chaparral like this with black-headed grosbeak. They may be in transit, migration. They're a neotropical migrant. They migrate from Mexico, Central America, further north. Or they could be breeding here. This one's singing and seems to be behaving in a territorial fashion, like he's defending a territory.
You have a very beautiful song.
Yeah, beautiful whistling song. I describe it like, I kind of nickname it the construction worker bird
The construction worker bird. Oh,
because he has a cat call.
ah. I guess so, huh?
You hear that?
Yeah.
That's why I call it the construction worker bird. But there's, typically I associate them with hardwood forest, like oak woodland or montane hardwood, conifer, denser hardwood forests. But there are some live oaks in here, although they're scrubby. So it may be suitable habitat. Nice view of Hauser Creek. We're descending into the canyon here. Heard a canyon ran as we're descending down into, was it Hoosier? Hauser, down into Hauser Creek. This rocky cliff, craggy area. They like the rocks. They like the boulders here. They probe the crevices for invertebrates, insects, things like that. I liked their vocalization. He didn't vocalize for us as we're recording here, but it sounds like pew 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 pew. Almost as if he's falling down the canyon, right? Descending down the canyon.
It's neat how they do these push-ups.
That water cache felt good, much needed water.
Oh yeah, there's more hikers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're already about 15 miles in. How hard could it be? Getting all the way to Canada.
You've gotten this far,
Oh.
but I wouldn't jinx it. So here's Jacob. We're recording a California thrasher here. He's singing in the apex of this shrub. What's remarkable about California thrasher is that they're mimics. So I could hear a couple of species in there. The one that jumped out of me as he was singing, I think we got this on the recording. I heard a Phainopeplas song in there. Thought I heard a Phainopepla yesterday. We haven't seen one yet. So you kind of get a sampling of the bird community with these mimics. And that's what's kind of cool about them. But he also has some of his distinct syllables and dialects.
Another cool thing while
Yeah.
watching him, it's pretty windy right now. It's not super windy, but it's windy enough where this tree that we're facing at is moving quite a bit in the wind. And so we actually captured him like bouncing and acting like a swivel
Yeah.
on top of the branches. And I think it's
Neat.
really neat to watch.
Yeah, it's amazing how agile birds are.
Oh
And
yeah.
they instinctively compensate. They can actually sense the wind and the air in their feathers,
Yeah.
in their skin, and they can make adjustments.
So crazy.
Yeah. All right, on our way down to Lake Morena. I think Jacob wants to go by the malt shop, which is just in town here, off the trail.
And begging the professor this whole time, let's go to the malt shop, let's go to the malt shop. He's like, we'll see.
I'll see how I feel when I get down here. I feel like going now. Lake Morena. I'm ready after our first 20 miles.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Respawn point. So if we die, we respawn right here.
Maybe past the respawn point. We're getting pretty far. I think we're doing about 2 more miles.
Yeah.
And then we'll make camp for the night. It's about 12-mile day.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Good morning, guys. Beautiful morning. Just wanted to show a treat that we noticed as I was climbing out of my tent, looking down into the valley here. This beautiful mist that's settling down into the valley. Low-lying clouds. It's where Lake Morena is. So the cool water of the lake causes condensation fog in that low-lying valley. Looking over here, you can see the sun just peeking up over the horizon. Climbing down right now we're gonna cross Interstate 8.
Yep.
And then we have a nice huff and puff up to the top of Mount Laguna.
Yeah.
Although we won't do that all today.
Thankfully.
We're here in this live oak woodland. Jacob's filming this ash-throated flycatcher in this dead snag, this dead oak.
Well, we're at about 26.2 miles, which means we're about 1% of the way through the entire PCT.
1%.
Yeah.
Well, that's a major accomplishment.
Right?
We got to take the morale boosts when we get them.
I don't know if it really is a morale boost.
Oh, come on, why not? 1%, that's huge. Gaining some ground, getting a lot higher, much higher than I-8 there.
So right now I'm soaking my feet I have a small blister on my right foot. So this feels pretty good. This water is really cold. It's not that deep, but it's really cold. And so I'm just kind of waiting until my feet go numb.
Interstate 8, way down there, so we've made some pretty good progress this afternoon. Gray vireo is a species of special concern in the state of California. So the state is monitoring their populations closely because they've been in decline. It's a very localized population on the PCT here. I've only encountered, he's singing right there. I've only encountered gray vireo in this area along this mile or so, mile and a half. We're right here by Cabet's campground as we're approaching Mount Laguna, ascending Mount Laguna. So this dense chaparral, this dense chamise chaparral seems to be their preferred habitat.
And oh, there he is.
Probably a desert horn lizard or a coast horn lizard.
Wow. Look how fat they are.
Just a little baby, actually. So his belly looks like. There's his belly. Just a little baby.
Oh,
Just a little baby. Get much bigger than that.
oh yeah. It's neat.
Let's get a full look at him. He'll cooperate.
He just wants to run. Yes. Pretty neat. Here, you want to let them go and we'll film them running away?
I just want to be able to ID them later. The fringe scales on the side there are key to identify. There's a double row there.
Yeah.
So coast horn or desert horn is my guess. One of the two. There he goes.
Nice. All right. First horned lizard of the trip.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, hello, Professor.
Hi. Nice and cozy in here.
Yeah, it is.
This little cubby hole in the manzanita giving us just the right amount of shelter from the wind. We're able to squeeze both our tents in here.
Somehow.
So we just finished a 3,000-foot climb as well, and I'm definitely feeling it. Got a little exhausted, kind of hit a wall about a mile ago, right before camp. But just like real low on energy. But otherwise doing great for most of the day. Till that last little oomph. So it's everything I can do just not to fall asleep right now, but I think I'll do some editing and then eat some dinner and then fall asleep. Talk to you guys on the next one.
Please subscribe and stay tuned as we continue this natural history series across all 2,650 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail.